Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight for round 10 of season 30 of Sunday Night Lights, we come to the new Hampshire Motor Speedway. It's not the oval layout there, it's actually the Roval, and it's the north configuration, so a different kind of challenge this week. The track tempo I was just trying to spot in there somewhere because that'll give us a good steer. 26, I think, something like that. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, big field tonight. A lot of the drivers have stuck with us at this low participation week. Looking forward to seeing what they can do for us out there tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. A 59.70 strength of field. So the guys have really turned up for this event. You needed a 43.62 to get into this field, and that honour belongs to someone that we haven't seen in a while. It'd be great to see some of these names that we haven't seen in a few weeks get out there and mix it up on what is a very unique track layout with a lot of character.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Let's run through them quickly then. Leading the way in terms of seeding, tonight's turning season champion from last season, Pablo Espes. Might be his car number one. Adam Miles, car number two, yet to take the track, although he's just coming out now. Car number two for Mr. Miles. Similarly, Oscar Marza joins us once again. Team Astro. We haven't seen Oscar for a while. Great to see him back out there. His teammate, of course, currently leading the standings, Mr. Christian Perez, but he himself is yet to take the track. He is a bit of a late starter when it comes to quali, though. Rasmus Fiore, gee, I'm glad to see him back. The Flying Finn, great to see him out there. Haven't seen him in a little while. He's been turning some laps this week, and he is up to his usual standard, which is very, very high. Brett McBurney, the leading ANZ driver for McFlabby Racing, yet to take the field, so I can't grab a picture of him. But Dario Frattini in FPM Oval Martine, he's car number 7 out there tonight and plying his trade very well as always. Vlado Tito, there you go. There's the driver on debut here tonight. Very, very quick in these cars. Was heard to say that he couldn't make it down here. Wanted to test himself against the best in the world going around. Well, tonight's his chance. Corey's made it in, thankfully. Good to see Vlado out there. Car number 9, Jose Luis Mella from Iberia. He joins us once again. We've seen him a couple of times now. And Team Milo's Luke Witten rounds out the top 10 seeds of tonight for Team Milo there, Corey.
That's right, Alex. Coming in at car number 11, Team Clown Bossman, Mr. Vasco Sorosky. Coming in as car number 12 is Yannick Moral from France. Our lucky 13th plated car is Stefan Fritzer from DATCH. We have Xavier Sanchez from Iberia as our 14th plated car in the minty green kind of car there. Russell Clark, Team Milo Bossman, comes in as our 15th plated car, and then just sneaking in, as I said, with that 4.3k I rating, Juan Ramon Bello Garcia.
Juan
it's
Ramon
great to have
Bello Garcia. That's what we like. Sorry, go ahead.
It's good to have him out here and just sneaking in. We haven't seen him for a couple of weeks either, Alex, and it's great to see him out there.
Yeah, 100%. Haven't seen him for quite some time. But I tell you what he has done is he's not only snuck into this field, he snuck onto the front row currently with provisional pole after the first of 2 flying laps. Interesting to see how he goes from there, if he can hang on to that. Has had some good pace in recent weeks. Also not shy in getting the elbows out, as Marsden now drops onto the front row alongside him after his first lap. Starts coming around this different configuration here through turn 3, back onto the oval section briefly before they come down to turn 4 as Frattini grabs top of the pops after 2 laps. He's done 2 laps now, has Frattini, and he's winding up for his run, Corey.
Yeah, so I was just watching Jose Mella, who has just put himself up into P5, and Juan Garcia, our 16th plated car, has moved himself up into P3. So a lot of moves being made. Vasco Sorosky on track as well. He's just finished up his 2 laps and only down in 13th. Not a great qualifying effort there for Vasco, Alex.
He will be dark as. Yannick Moral He's coming around to finish off his second run. Crosses the line. Does he move up? He does. He sticks it in third provisionally as we watch for others coming round. I'm just trying to spot. Yeah, Mars is coming around to finish off his final shot at it. Crosses the line for Astro Racing Team. Drops it in pole. What can the rest of them do? Miles crosses the line. He's put it in third, Corey. We've got a couple left. Tito, who's normally pretty dynamite in quali, only managed P7, and we're on board with McBurney now, who's coming around for the second of his flyers, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. I've also got an eye on Christian Perez, who is on his first lap. He's just come into the oval section for the first time, the turns 11 and 12. See what he can do for his first lap here. He comes out of what is the oval turn 4, and we're going to get a time of 1:13.461, puts him up into P3 provisionally. He's still got one more lap to go as we now look at car number 6, Brett McBurney. He's just finished his second lap and he only moves up to P11. So Brett McBurney won't be happy with that one either, Alex.
Nah, he won't be. But as we ride on board with Perez now for his second flying lap, comes through turn 4, 5, uses the elevation change to compress the suspension, add rotation to the car as he accelerates up over the crest. Now down through turn 6. A double apexing almost. You come up the hill through turn 7. Crest another hill. So it's jamming all the characteristics of US tracks with the elevation changes in as you come down the hill and back onto the oval. Tight, very tight turn here in this configuration. He can kiss a bit of the grass, not too much, without taking an incident point and losing drive, as Perez now rounds turn 4 in the oval layout, turn 12 in the Roval, as he comes to cross the line now to finish his second lap. What's he got for us? Pole. That's what he's got, Corey, with a 13 something or other. Anyway, let's go. Hang on. I'll just grab the grid because we'll get through it and then we'll get on with it. Christian Perez with a 13.2 for Astro Racing Team. Grabs pole right at the death and in a fantastic lap. Oscar Maza, his teammate for Astro Racing. I know it says Iberia, but he's an Astro Racing kid. Well, boy, man, he's a good fellow, Oscar. He starts out a second alongside his teammate. Third off the grid tonight will be FPM Oval Martins. Dario Frattini. Alongside him will be Adam Miles starting out of 4th. Rasmus Fiore joins us once again. He starts off the third row in 5th. Yannick Moral from France. He starts in 6th in what is his best start to an SNL fixture. Juan Ramon Belo Garcia from Iberia starts out of 7th. Vlad Tito from Central Eastern Europe starts out of 8th tonight. Starting 9th on the grid will be Jose Luis Mella from Iberia. Alongside him will be Stefan Frister out of 10th. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing, the leading ANZ driver, off the grid tonight in 11. Alongside him will be Pablo Espes from Iberia. Expect him to move forward, or at least attempt to do so. 13th off the grid tonight will be Xavier Sanchez from Spain. Team Milo Bossman, Russell Clark III starts from 14th. Luke Whitten, his teammate, starts out of 15th. And Vasco Sorowski, the head clown himself, the soul clown in this one here tonight, starts out of 16th. Final spot on our grid here tonight, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. 16 are the best that we could assemble for this Roval, which is different to most Rovals where it has an outside portion of the track being used as road course. This was actually once an actual road course. Now that outside area that we go to between turns 5 and 10 is all used for camping. As the revs start to rise, Fred the flag marshal vigorously waves his green flag over the field. We are underway for Sunday Night Lights Season 30, round number 10 here from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And already Perez and Maza taking control of the race as we head into the first couple of S's to start off this race, Alex.
Oh, there's a check up at the back as contact nose to tail as Miller and Frister, I think it was. And they all get away with it. Miller, a 3 wide. McBurney now in a sandwich there coming in. How did they get that sorted? Unbelievable start to this one. They're still getting it sorted. A lot of very quick guys in this field. A lot of them buried deep in the pack. Speaking of which, Marza, he's down 3 off the line. They were 2 by 2 into turn 1. Couldn't even get through turn 1 without having people chuck it up the inside. Oh, down the hill, Frattini. Coming back onto the oval side by side on lap 1. And look behind them, there's a big bump as they come back onto the oval there. And oh, the car number 1 of Espes. He's got the elbows out already, Corey.
Indeed, he does, Alex. And everyone fighting for that inside line on the oval. Traditionally, racing this oval in a NASCAR, you want to be about 3rd or 4th lane. But these things are so light and so underpowered compared to a NASCAR. Being on the very inside line is where you want to be as everyone streams into the S's to start the lap once more. Christian Perez out to a massive lead right now, Alex.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Perez is gone. He's 1.5 seconds clear. Adam Miles has made the move. He's up 2 spots, as is Viore, Morale, all of which have looked to have come at the expense of Oscar Marza. Tito's up a couple. Frattini's down 5. That's your other big mover in the wrong direction. Maybe we'll call him a shaker. He's not a mover, he's a shaker in the mover and shaker stakes, I should say. Russell Clark's out. Oh, I'm going to just check out our replay of what happened here. Russell Clark up the hill. It's going in, and then he's almost like he's got turned by his own teammate, and then he's off into the never never. And has he not found the gear? Has he just found reverse? I don't know. Has he had pedal failure? And then off we go. He's gone skis. All right, let's go back to live pictures now. As Miles running in second with Viore in his tail. Look at the streaming skippies through turn 1, Corey. Beautiful sight there this early on in the race.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. Watching these guys go through turns 1, 2, and 3, definitely a sight to behold, especially since we are both used to seeing them taking the oval through that section before diving into the road course section of the track. But these guys are pushing the limits right now. You can see a little bit of looseness in the braking zones, especially going through this outer road course section. These guys are putting it all on the line. And, it's going to be one of those weird kind of races, I think. It's a little bit of a pressure to pass kind of track, but it races very differently because coming out of turn 6, you're full throttle for most of the way through 7, 8, and just a small lift on 9 before you make it into that heavy braking zone for 10.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back and see what happened to... who was I looking for? I was looking for... Oscar. I want to see what happened to Oscar early on. There's an overtake early on. It's down. Oh, I think he just got a bit of nose to tail contact. Oh, and he's leapt. Wow. Marza leapt on the exit there. I think Frattini might have got into the rear of him. And that's unsettled him deep. And that's what's cost him, it's cost both of them all the spots. Although Marza now has made one of them back and is charging through the field. Newly appointed police officer is Oscar. He was very proud to share that with the community. I think it was in December this year, or just gone, I should say, December last year. Congratulations to him on taking up that post. Although I think he's clearing a slowdown. Oh no, he's losing all those spots he got back and clearing the slowdown. Careful, boys. He'll want to hand out the speeding tickets if we're not careful. No one likes to get beaten, but perhaps he won't do that, Corey.
I mean, we might see a bit of the police training come into effect if he decides to maybe do a pit maneuver on someone. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But what his slowdown has done is this has allowed Adam Miles and Rasmus Fiori to pull away from that second pack now. So these two trying to chase down Christian Perez, but he's out to a 2.2 second lead, Alex. It's going to be very, very hard to try and catch Perez at this point.
Yeah, Perez is gone. Actually, the battling's going to be, or the show's really going to be for P2 and a couple of the other spots. The racing here is frantic. You barely get a break, and it's a lot more technical than you might think. And these sort of pockets of excitement, dare I say, have opened up, and there'll be plenty of action throughout here as once again Oscar Marza looking to try and get past Frattini, the guy who he'll be grinding his teeth about, who unwittingly put him there, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. And I actually saw that contact happen. I didn't really register it at the time because there was just so much tight racing going on that first lap. But hopefully we can see both these guys work together and work their way back towards the front, because it's not normal seeing them so far down the pack. And hopefully just the way that this track is a little bit different to the rest of them, we can see them try and use the uniqueness of this track to their advantages. But those slowdowns are ever looming around a track like this, Alex, especially if you happen to take too much curb.
Yeah, absolutely. Tito on debut, sitting inside the top 5, up 3 spots. He'll be pretty happy, as will Morale, who's looking to make the most of his appearance here tonight, holding him off as they come up over the crest once again, heading down towards turn 6. Morale takes a defensive line. Tito grabs the bump on the run down the hill into 6. Oh, Morale, he's not going to have the best run out there. There's so much camber you can use, but a lick more than is there, and it's a very slow run. Look at them all check up, or Concertina up behind him at least, just from that small error in placement of his car through that beautiful turn 6. So much fun to drive when you get it right, Corey.
Oh, it absolutely is, Alex, and the run that you can get out of it can be even more fun, especially the elevation change through turn 8. If you hit that just right, you feel like an absolute champion. So, these guys, they're going to move on for 4th place now, I think that is, as Tito gets around Morale. They're side by side still, little bit of push and shove going on. Oh, they're just about 3 wide. They are going to be 3 wide coming down into turn number 4. Who is going to take away the advantage? Is it going to be Fritzer?
Oh,
and we got one going off. It's Marza. No, Marza's gone.
There's still 2x2 on the run up the hill. Frattini trying to make room where Tito says no thank you. And the big winner out of that is Frister. The big one moving backwards out of that is, unfortunately, Constable Marza, who's... I could not have had worse luck. I've missed him out here on a Sunday night. Oh, he won't be coming back if he has this sort of luck. Tragedy for Constable Marza. Anyway, Frister now has taken full advantage. He's now up 6 positions, Corey. He's on the books for 86 I rating if he finishes here. Amazing stuff for the German driver.
Oh, absolutely is, Alex, and he's going to be trying to hold on to this with everything he's got in his power, as Morale right behind him, taking the draft off the oval, as they're side by side, just a little bit back. It's Mellor and Tito.
Oh, off goes Morale. Oh, Tito. Sorry, go.
Yeah, that's Tito gone. So Tito hip and shouldered away from here, thanks to Mellor, I do believe that was, and I just saw someone also collect the fence coming out of what would have been the oval turn 2, which is the exit of 3 for us, as there's still a lot of push and shove going on, as Frattini just about got his nose cut off there by Mellor.
There's action everywhere. I want to see, I think Tito got more than a little hip and shouldered here. I mean, oh yeah, just a little misjudgment. I think he probably needed to lift a fraction, although that'll hurt you on the way through the corner as well. The rear will get very unstable, very easy to lose it there. But plenty of action in this pack. Oh, Frister. The bright Sunday night lights are shining on him. He's had a whoopsie. So easy to do as you try and grab every bit of traction out back onto the oval through turn 10. Now it's going to be 2. Is it going to be 3 wide as Espez is making his way through the middle, and 3 wide briefly, still 2 wide as they come through the... Oh, wow. That's almost... Oh, and underneath him. I think that's Marral again. Unbelievable. These guys are... Oh, he went underneath him. It was Mellor going underneath Marral there. Delivery's unfamiliar to me, so I'm miscalling a couple. Espez now on the inside of Frister. And Espez comes out the front. He'll go straight over to the left and try and defend into turn 6 this time round. Beautiful driving from Espes. I thought he was struggling to get through this pack, Corey, and then, oh, he's little wheel-to-wheel contact there. Frister's keeping him honest up and over the hill. Now, through 8 and 9, they go. Oh, wow. That beautiful control there. Frister, where's he come from? Where's he been all these seasons? He's come from nowhere and taking it to the best of the world, Corey.
Oh, he absolutely is, Alex. That was magical. The defense that he put on coming out of turn 4 all the way through to turn 10 there, but it's not over yet. Espes now looking for the inside move. He's got to squeeze him down towards the pit wall, but Frister, I don't think he's going to be able to do it again this time, as they're going to go 3 wide with Mella on the outside. As we keep going on, they've gone single file out now, but the action is not going to stop, and we're only 10 laps into this 22-lap race, Alex. We're not even halfway yet. And these guys are fighting as if they're fighting for the championship on the last lap right now.
Absolutely. 2 by 2 they go. Oh, look at this. This is like 50 cars deep. Oh, it can't be, obviously, but there's so many cars in this pack. Before the race, some of our pre-race audience were asking, you know, will there be some overtaking? Will there be some overtaking, folks? It's Skippy's on a Sunday night. Some of the best in the world going around. There will be overtaking. And some side-by-side contact once again. Frister and Espes. Espes 2 by 2 with 2 different cars, multiple cars. Oh, nearly nose-to-tail contact. Frister doing an amazing job here, holding off last season's champion.
You know, Alex, I'm actually surprised that all these cars still have their front wings and rear wings. We've seen so much nose-to-tail contact going on all throughout this little pack. And they'd splintered off into pockets, but it's almost become one ginormous pocket once again for these drivers, as now it's Espes and Mella going at it and almost getting up to the side of Frister as well. And Frister is absolutely impressing me. He's here on debut, and he is showing these guys he is not here to play around, Alex. He is doing everything he can to hold on to this 4th place.
Oh, Espes up the inside now. Goes up the inside of Mella. Oh, and Frattini once again trying to make it 3 wide. He'll be on the outside of 6 as Mella will be on the inside of Espes this time round. That's not where you want to be if you're Espes, on the outside of 6. That'll leave you open to attack from Frattini up the hill, but then he'll have the inside through the right-hand kink. Wow, side by side they go down the hill once again. Can they get it sorted? Espes wants to make his room in there, and the challenge there, Corey, is compromising your exit there really means you can't have the solid attack into one. And once again, Frister, he's almost gapping them, Corey. That's how all they're clamoring over themselves to get at him. And he's driving away for them and 1 second ahead at this stage.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And we also had a little bit of drama in the back of that group as well, as Juan Garcia has gone around and he actually collected Morale as well. Morale, with so much damage, he's gone to the pits, which is absolutely horrible for both of those drivers. And they're now languishing down in 13th and 14th, Alex.
Yeah, mate, just nose to tail. Oh, Witten going underneath there. Copped a bit of a nudge too, but keeps going. It's really, there's a few of them involved there. They're all so tight. Oh, yeah, and those two are just, yeah, they couldn't get it separated. As we jump back, Perez now out to a dominating 4.5 second lead in a 5900 soft. That's a brilliant drive from Perez. Now, Viore and Miles, this is the kind of racing I was expecting up front. These two going hard as they can trying to catch Perez, but he's just gapping them. Frister now's lost that 1 second lead. It's down to about 4/10. Mella behind. Espes in tow. Espes will be looking to attack. Frattini behind him. Then you've got McBurney and Witten still going with Sanchez in there as well. And behind them, Sorosky, who's come from nowhere as well. Everyone, there's so many of them still in it. You can throw a handkerchief over them through turn 1. Oh, Frattini up the side of Espes. Gets the elbows out, gets the overtake done. Far out, Corey. I don't know how they've still got straight anything on these cars.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. The racing display these guys are putting on is absolutely incredible. It's amazing that they have made it so far without just becoming one giant just ball of Skippy. as I'm just having a look through the movers and shakers. Fritzer has gone up 6 positions. Espes sitting back here in 7th. It's gone up 5. And Vasco Sorosky, who is on the back of this group in 11th, has gone up 5 positions from where he started as well. Luke Witten also up 6. These guys are making the moves and getting their way towards the front. And, you know, it's only going to be up and up for some of these guys, but for some of them, we're going to probably see a little bit of heartbreak here, Alex, as with how hard they're racing, I don't think they'll have all these skippies being so straight for so long.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff here tonight. Of course, the big shaker in the field, unfortunately, was Constable Marza. Tragedy to see him on his return to Sunday Night Lights, moving backwards so strongly. Such a quality guy, such a quality driver. Just things not going his way tonight. As going the way of Mella, it is. Frister in front of him. Frister car number 13, but as we often say here on a Sunday night, numbers and seedings don't really matter. The quality of the drivers is massive and mega throughout the field. As a little bit of nudge on the exit there. I think that was it Espes and McBurney? Not sure. Yeah, it looks like Espes has got a bent rear wing. It's the first bend we've seen other than the corners themselves, Corey, and Espes, who's just been in the thick of it throughout. Perhaps unsurprisingly, it's him that's wearing it.
Well, that's exactly it, Alex. But back to what you were saying before with the numbers don't matter. In this race, every one of these drivers is a race winner on any other day of the week. You put them in any other race and 9 times out of 10, one of these guys is going to be winning that race. So, you know, it's crazy that once we get them all together, what happens, the skill that they put on display and, you know, the dominance of some drivers over others. But we all know that this is usually a track-to-track basis as well, as this time, going through turn 1, all seems calm for once. They stayed single file the whole time there, Alex. I'm actually in shock about that.
It took 15 laps, but yeah, they got it done single file. I think potentially what they're worried about is young Frister driving away. These guys have got their heads together, even if without a spoken word, and said, hey fellas, this guy's going to run away from us if we're not careful. And run away he's attempting to do. Frister now out by just under 9/10 as they come up the hill out of 6 on the run up through 7 and 8 now. He's threatened to break the toe here so often, and Frattini now back amongst it. He's been up and down this order more often than a yo-yo in the schoolyard of the local primary school, this fella, and he's really looking to push his claim and stake it on that top 5 finish, Corey, as Perez sets the fastest lap out in clean air with a 12.6.
Perez is absolutely something else right now. He is 2 tenths faster than Viore and Miles, who are in 2nd and 3rd. So it's just incredible how fast he's going right now. And the smoothness of his drive is just something else to watch. If you want to really learn how drivers skip you, especially around a difficult track like this, just watch Perez in any race session. And he will show you how to do it so smooth, so comfortable. But, you know, you've got to put it together yourself to be as fast as what he is. But going back to that big old pack, and there's a little bit of a battle behind between the 3 Aussies, Luke Witten, Zorowski and McBurney, as they were just about 3 wide going through turn 6 that time, Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to see there's a bit of an overtake here. Oh, that's a bit early. Zorowski does it on Sanchez at 1. I want to see Witten passing McBurney. They're coming down the hill. Oh, is McBurney? Oh, and he's got to slow down, and he's had to let the other 2 through. I think that's what's happened there. McBurney will be looking to fight back. That might have broken up that pack a little bit, actually. Yeah, Espes now on the tail end of Mella, on the tail end of Frattini, who is chasing down and caught Frister. Espes Drifterino style catches it. But that's about all he'll catch, other than maybe a cold hanging it out there. And he's still drifting. He's just got it to grip up, and that's brought him back together, but might threaten to have Frister and Frattini run away, Corey.
Oh, indeed it has, Alex, as I'm just having a look, and that gap is starting to grow. It's already out to 1.2 seconds between Frattini and Mella. So these guys are going to have to put in the hard yards to try and close this gap down, as you know, Frattini and Frister I reckon they're going to be safe here, honestly. We've only got the sum of about 5.5 laps to go now. And, it's going to be hard for these guys to close in that kind of a gap in the little time we have left, Alex.
Well, Frister and Frattini are clever about it. If they're smart and heady in their racing from here, they'll be tough to catch. As you say, it's already out now. It's out at 1.3, nearly 1.4. So they gained 1.5, 2 tenths through the twisty section of this circuit. What's Espes got for us this time? He's going to come out from underneath Mellar, get it done through turn 1 in a little bit more traditional sense this time round, as Luke Whitten going side by side with Sorowski, a little bit of contact. Oh, McBurney throws it up the inside there in the midst of all that. Wowzers, he was carrying a lot of speed. Luckily, it was open doors in front of him. Oh, dropping back is car number 1 of Espes. McBurney side by side on the exit of the corner. Sanchez making the move on Sorowski at the same time. We'll follow these two down the hill. McBurney, Espes. McBurney looking to get it done. I'm not sure if Espes didn't pick up a slow down. Comes back underneath him to run up the hill. Oh, these two, no beg pardons asked or given. They've got it side by side still. This time McBurney seeds the corner. Meanwhile, Sorowski and Sanchez side by side coming back onto the oval. Action everywhere. Oh, Sorowski. It's the other layout, mate. Oh, he'll be spewing at that. I've got to tell you, I do prefer the other configuration, but only on the seasons that we're running it, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. But I think what happened there is that there's a little bit of a lip just on the inside of that turn 10. And you can use it to help you turn into the corner, but it can also absolutely launch you off into the stratosphere as the battle between Mellor and Whitten continues. A little bit of nose-to-tail contact there between Mellor and Espes, and Sanchez, in fact, McBurney, my apologies, trying to get up there and make something of this as well. So Luke Whitten now up 9 positions since the start of this race. And Pablo Espes has the fastest lap of the race with a 112.582. But that's obviously draft assisted. But Christian Perez with the second fastest time of the race, Alex, a 12.589. Can you believe that? Not drafted.
Yeah, beautiful stuff in these conditions. A bit warmer here tonight, as these guys are just showing how it's done. And when you say this is the little bump you're referring to, the little bump, I'll tell you what, understatement of the year, that thing will launch into the stratosphere, as you said. But Perez now almost sedately running 12.7s out front. Miles and Viore, they've got their own little show going here, trying to figure out the minor spots on the podium. Meanwhile, Frister and Frattini, they are, look, Frattini still nursing that front wing damage. They are looking to round out P4 and 5, and they're away now by 3.8 seconds as the big arguments over the minor positions are still being fought out in this bumper mid-pack, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And what I've noticed is that wherever the major battling is being happening, it's always been centered around Espes. And I hate to say it, but when people have gotten away from the pack, when Espes has dropped down the order a little bit. So I'm not sure if that's a correlation or a sign of things to come. But Espes definitely not having the greatest of races here tonight. And unfortunately, the result is showing it as well. As he's all the way down in 8th place. He will be ruining that as the number 1 car in this race.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, he's up 4 spots. He started 12th, so haven't seen him on the track too often this week as he puts pressure on the tail end of Whitten there. You got to time that run so well, because the long way around here is not the way to get it done, because you sacrifice all that exit speed. And you see Whitten now forcing him around the outside, and Whitten taking the tight line, the rear of the car wanting to let go. Espes will try and come underneath him, but it's line astern through there once they get on the line. Very difficult without sacrificing speed on exit and the run down into the next corner. Tell you who's impressed me tonight, Frister. Made his way forward. He's up 6 positions, and he's just driving with the cool head of a far more experienced racer here on a Sunday night. And he's doing a fantastic job ahead of Frattini at this stage. Mello on the front of this pack. Oh, Espes is gone. Espes, he's been spun around. Let's go check out what happened there. I think we saw it, a compressed rear, and Witten, he's pushed out into Witten by the looks. He clipped the inside curbing, pushed out into Witten, and then's been turned around, lit the tyres up to get on the grass to try and flip it round. And unfortunately, the end of a bumpy ride in terms of his competitive night. How's the re-entry? It's okay, passable. We'll give him pass marks for that. Meanwhile, side by side, they're going on the last lap for all the marbles now. Adam Miles and Rasmus Viore, as they come down here into the heavy braking zone at 4. Side by side they go. Two of the best in the world, these fellas. Miles looking to get it done around the outside and get the inside into 6. Will he get it? Rasmus Viore forced to give it up. They're still side by side as they come down through 6. Looks like Miles will get the inside run and likely get the run out. What about this chasing pack? Witten and McBurney. No love lost between the ANZ drivers. McFlabby versus Milo. Again, the inside run for Witten, probably seeing him through that. And it's Perez now on the oval, taking the widest of lines to cross the line for his, I think it's going to be his 5th victory of the season. Gives us a bit of the old Enzo wiggle and the Johansson line to finish. Adam Miles now side by side with Viore across the line, and it's Miles who gets the chocolates. Frista and Frattini coming to the line this time round, and it'll be Frista with a fantastic drive to take out P4. Mello, Witten, McBurney, Sanchez, Corey. What a night out at the races. These guys put on an amazing show here tonight once again.
Absolutely, Alex. I've been at the Speedway the last 2 nights as well, and it's been an incredible 3 nights of racing for me. This is just the perfect way to complete it. These guys put on an absolute show, and Christian Perez, he is just on an absolute another level here tonight. No one, absolutely no one, had anything for him at any stage of this race.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It was very interesting for mine. He got away on lap 1, and that was it. That was pretty much all she wrote, and just hard to describe it as anything other than dominant in terms of a victory. All right, let's go and check out the results for here tonight. As we said, Christian Perez for Astro Racing Team, dominant performance here tonight. Out by 6 seconds in one of the top 5 strength of fields in Skippy racing history. We've had 2 over 6K. This was a 59.70, which is unbelievable. And before I go any further, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the series by coming out and racing here each week. Unpopular track, this one. We saw participation down, and yet we still got to see some fantastic racing here on a Sunday night. Spectacular performance by so many of the drivers who support us each and every week. Some of those drivers now, as we said, Christian Perez taking out the win. Adam Miles won his battle with Rasmus Viore, who returns to the series. Those two some 6 seconds behind, but strong, very strong performances here tonight, finishing in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Stefan Frista, driver of the night for mine. Only his 2nd race here on a Sunday night from memory. Finishes 4th ahead of previous SNL winner this season, Dario Frattini for FPM Ovaltine. P6 tonight was Jose Luis Mella from Iberia. Just ahead of P7 was Luke Witten for Team Milo. Ahead of his compatriot, ANZ compatriot Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing, who finished 8th. Xavier Sanchez was up 4 positions to finish in 9th. Ahead of debutant for SNL, Vlado Tito, who joined us for the first time tonight. Hopefully we get to see him a bit more because we know he's got the pace to mix it with the best in the world. P11 tonight, speaking of some of the best in the world, is Pablo Espes. He was up 1 position from where he started, but gee, I tell you what, he worked hard for that. He was in it up to his eyeballs all throughout the race tonight, as was Constable Oscar Marza for Astro Racing Team. Really disappointed to see Oscar so far down in the pack. He's way better driver than that. The luck certainly didn't go his way tonight. P13 tonight in the order was Juan Ramon Belo Garcia from Iberia. Yannick Morale similarly had some bad luck thrown his way from France. He's finished down in 14th ahead of Team Milo bossman Russell Clark III, and the head clown unfortunately started 16th, got up I think 8 positions inside the top 10, and then finished down in 16th in the end. an unhappy night for the head clown, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. It was a hard night at the office for some of our Aussie drivers out there. But, again, Christian Perez absolutely dominating start to finish. And, words cannot describe the kind of victory that was here tonight. Great battling all throughout the pack as well. And I'm actually really sad to see Espes so far down. He put in the hardest of yards here tonight, and it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, 100%, mate. That was the case. Now, we do have a couple of our podium sitters in the green room. We'll bring up our race winner, Mr. Christian Perez. Christian, mate, I was going to say, easy night at the office. You led him from the front and just drove away with it, mate. Nice, comfortable win tonight.
Probably yes, but really hard track to do not mistakes. So I prepare a little bit this one, especially in this track because I really like New Hampshire. So yeah, I did train a little bit more than usual, and clearly it shows some. I don't know how to say that. So
it paid off. It paid off, mate.
Yes, that.
That's the one. It paid off tonight in spades, as we might say. It's. I was very pleased for you. It was a very, very strong performance against. It was a 5,900 strength of field. So there's no easy race out there, but certainly that hard work during the week has paid off, and it was great to see two Astro cars on the front there, and then poor old Oscar. He had a rough night, that's for sure. But so
he has bad luck.
Yeah,
a little bit of bad luck for him.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Hopefully we see it now. He's a new police officer. Do you say Constable Marza where you guys are? Is that how we say it?
What?
Constable.
Can you repeat that?
Constable. It's the name of a police officer. You have sergeant and constable. What do you say in Spanish?
Yeah. Well, he now, I don't know if he's sergeant now, but
really?
I don't know. But he's like almost the best guy in our team, so I'm really, really sad for him. But I think everyone loves Oscar, and if you don't love Oscar, maybe it's more your problem, because it is like a teddy bear, and I feel a little bit bad for him, but it's racist.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Oscar's a great guy. I was really pleased to see him out there tonight, but it was just unfortunate that the luck really didn't go his way. But certainly, you make your own luck in this race as well, and I think the effort that you must have put in this week has really paid off for you, and put your way out in front tonight, mate. So congratulations again on a top drive. Anyone you'd like to say g'day to or thank tonight before we let you go?
No, not today.
Not
today. I will wait to Long Beach.
Very good. All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us again, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, ciao.
There you go, Corey. That was Christian. I hope he didn't think I was calling Oscar out there. I was trying to give him a compliment. I guess the language barrier gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, it does. But I'm sure that Christian knows that, we're not trying to put anyone down in any way, shape or form, especially not Oscar. And as he said, Oscar is a really good dude. And we're forever grateful for having him come out to race with us every single week, as well as Christian as well. And, as Christian said, this is a very, very difficult track. I went out and did a couple laps of practice just before we started the broadcast. And that first section, instead of doing the oval and going through and doing that road course, that's not an easy section to get right, especially on cold tires. But somehow these guys managed to do it almost every single lap. And, I'm envious of the skill that these guys have put on display here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just trying to learn a bit of Spanish. Anyway, all right, we'll see how we go. Next on our list, we've got our second place finisher, Mr. Adam Miles, who was in a race of his own, of course, with the returning Rasmus Fiore. Adam, mate, strong performance out there tonight. Good to race with Rasmus and good to come away with a podium.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's just a shame that the turn 3 incident with Dario and Oscar sort of yeah, but just P4 was a little bit too far back, and I think the gap was almost immediately 1.0, 1.1, and just when Christian says he likes a track, you're not going to chase him down. So it was really good fun. We were patient. I think Rasmus sat behind me for about the first half. I sat behind him for a bit, and then we sort of went toe to toe for the last 5 or 6 laps, and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, mate, that's the way to build a lead and take advantage of it towards the end. And then really when all the sheep stations are on, you got quality around you, it makes for a good night out. So, mate, Top Drive had I think we're up to 2 victories now this season. Hopefully some more in your future. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, mate?
Yourselves, as always, for doing the broadcast. I think Christian, just fantastic pace. I mean, he quite comfortably had 2/10 at least on me every lap. So, looking forward to Long Beach next week, and we'll see if we can get our revenge.
Beautiful. All right, Adam, great to talk to you as always, mate, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thanks, Alex.
There you go, Corey, the Skippy community rep, Mr. Adam Miles, who put on a great performance here tonight. Great to have a leader in the community also up with the leaders on track there.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Adam, he's just always there. He finally broke through for his first win a few weeks ago. He's very, very, very consistent as well. And, it's always great to have Adam on track, especially when he drives so well. We get to talk about him so positively. And, it's a shame that we didn't get to pick up on the fight between himself and Viore towards the end of that race, because I'm sure it would have been an absolute cracking one between the two of them, but there was just too much action everywhere else on the track for us to unfortunately focus on them.
Yeah, that's right, mate. There was a bit going on, but look, it was actually everywhere you looked, honestly. There was so much going on throughout the track all night. Now, we will grab our final person here tonight who's finished in the top 5 there, Mr. Dario Fattini. Dario with the bent wing all night after the early incident. A bit tough to get around, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, a bit disappointed. I made the same mistake, and Adam just made me realize 2 consecutive laps. So the last lap of the warm-up race and then the first lap of SNL. I have to apologize to Oscar. I just braked a little bit too late. It was probably my normal marker, but doesn't really work on the first lap in a tow. And then I panicked, steered left and got on the grass, and then it was impossible to avoid contact. So that was my bent wing, and then it looked quite eventful. I want to see how it looked from your point of view. It definitely was chaotic from mine.
Yeah, mate, the racing out there was amazing. Like, I watched the warm-up race as well, and I saw plenty going on, and then I think I said for yourself or Espes at one time, up and down the order more than a yo-yo in a schoolyard. But there was plenty going on, mate. It really, really does go to show. I mean, this is a highly underrated track. On paper, it's short and sharp, and yet there is a lot of technical elements to it. And it turns out it's pretty damn good to race on too.
Yeah, that's true. When I first practiced, I thought the first complex, the first 3 turns were a bit underwhelming. But then you start racing and realize you can go from for moves on the outside of turn 1, but then if you defend too much, you compromise your exit out of turn 3. You can get very good runs out of turn 3, and it's quite nice. And then the outfield, you have to be as close as possible to have a chance on in turn 1, but it's very tricky to stay as close because it's quite slow, but. I don't know, you have to be prepared for people braking, and it's nice in SNL you can trust people to brake in sort of the same spot you do, so you can stay closer. It makes for very good racing.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Quite a surprise packet on the schedule this season, but congratulations, mate. Top Drive. I know there was a mistake in there, and that's the way it goes when the racing's so hot, but congratulations, mate. Congratulations on putting together a good season too. It's all coming together as we come to the climax in the next couple of weeks. So well done, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to tonight?
Well, my Oval team, and it's a shame Dimitri couldn't be here because he's back from his holiday, but he didn't want to participate for some reason, probably scared of all the talent. And we managed to beat Milo. I managed to beat Milo. best chocolate drink. And yeah, everybody who showed up. No, it's not been a very popular week, unfortunately, but we still get the numbers, and the soft was very high. And of course, yourselves as always for the broadcast.
Beautiful. Thanks, Dario. You're right. A big shout out to the community who continues to support the action here on a Sunday night. It is very much appreciated. Of course, there'd be no race without them. But thanks to your good self as well, Dario. Look forward to seeing you again soon, mate.
Yep. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
There you go, Corey. Dario Fattini, P5 here tonight in a strong performance. He was a bit disappointed with the mistake on that one. That was the first of a few things that cost Oscar his stronger performance here tonight after qualifying on the front row. But that's unfortunately a part of racing. And certainly no hard feelings or ill feelings in that one. Just one of those things, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Frattini doesn't go out there to intentionally try and crash anyone. He's usually one of the cleaner drivers that we have as well. But I just love the way that he's playing into the old Ovaltine Milo rivalry. It's been too long since we really had it going, and he's absolutely rubbing it in Milo's face right now, and well-deserved too, with a decent top 5 finishing position. But it looks like a lot of people, as I just saw in the replay, him locking up going into turn 1, and it was a huge lock-up too. Wow. But it just goes to show, even the best Skippy drivers that we can assemble can struggle on a track like this that no one is really used to or familiar with. So, if you're having a hard time on the track, especially this week, don't feel disheartened, because you're not the only one.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Well, that might just about do us, folks. Corey, do you want to tell the folks at home what you got coming up this week?
So a little bit of a rest week here for me this week. It was a big weekend at the skids last night at the Perth Motorplex. To check out all the content from that, just go to the Speedway Memes Facebook or YouTube channels and go check out some of the racing now. Unfortunately, a couple of drivers got hurt last night, and I'm going to actually be looking at going to visit one of them tomorrow. But apart from that, maybe a little bit of Valorant here and there. Aussie Sim Commentator channel is absolutely back this week, and I do believe they're racing at Atlanta, I think, or Auto Club on Wednesday, and the broadcast for that will start at about 12:20 Western Australian time, GMT +8. And then Friday is Night Owl Racing League, which I'm participating in. And then it's all back here with you again next Sunday, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. All right, folks, make sure you check us out. All the race replays. Oh, hang on. Is that going to work? I think it is. There it is on our YouTube channel at the top split. This and all the other 30 seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights. The best Skippy action going around in town. Then, of course, each and every Sunday night, we are here live on Top Split TV on Twitch, where Corey and I take you through all the action of the best racing going around. And join us in the Discord community, which is where all the news, views, and SNL things go on, including the results. And I'm actually up to date up until the end of this night anyway. But thank you, as always, everyone, for joining us. Hit like, thumbs up, subscribe at all those places. It really does help us a great deal to get the great word of the Skippy series out and about. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. And on behalf of the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar. And until next time, I will say ciao for now.